Okay, so you have to reach level 5 to unlock the transfer market, and when you get it unlocked, there is a lot of stuff to go over in terms of what is new and how you can understand it and make millions of coins from it. So taking a look over here, you're just going to look at the first tab, which is the recommended tab. This is just going to show you a bunch of random players pretty much, and you can take a look at them. You can look at how their prices are looking at and all of that stuff. Then over here, you got my players. These are all of your players. You can't sell stuff that is on your lineup, obviously, and you can sell pretty much anything else over there. And then also your watch list, so you can add players to your watch list just so you can take a look at their prices over time. You will get a graph on the left hand side just under the player, taking a look at their prices over time, seeing how it dips, how it goes up in price over there, and we'll go through all of that stuff. And then you've also got my orders. Now this is basically where you are selling your cards, where you're trying to buy your cards, all of that stuff. And then you've also got a search function where you can basically just go in like we had last season, pick a card and just basically look at all the cards that are available on the transfer market. Now there is only one version of each card, so there's only one Trent card over here, and that is pretty much the case with every single card. It's not like last season where you had every single player that was being put up on the auction house and it's run by bots. It's not run by bots this time. It is simply player to player, and that is how it's going to work throughout the whole season. So what we have here is we basically have some players you can take a look at. Let's take a look at this Kante over here. You can see his graph over here. It started off at a reasonable price, then it dipped straight away as the season started, and now it's skyrocketing. Now the reason it is doing that is because, as you can see, there are red text over here, and these are people who have put in, say, 2.88 mil to try and buy this Kante card, and they haven't been successful. So there is a high demand for this Kante card, which causes the increase in price. So 2 people have tried to buy this card for 2.88 mil, 6 people have put it in for 2.92 mil, and 2 people have put it in for 3.04 mil. Now, if I had this Kante card and I was looking to sell him, if I listed him for 3.04 mil, then I would get an instant sell because someone is waiting in line to buy that card. And that is pretty much it when it comes to the market. When I try and buy a card, I will be second in queue or third in queue, depending on however many people have put it at exactly the same price trying to buy that card. Now you have to wait in queue before you can actually get your card. So say I am third in the queue, I have to wait for person number 1 to get their card, person number 2 to get their card, and then me, when I get to the front of the queue, then I have to basically wait for someone to sell it at that price, and then I can pretty much get this. And the best example of this, if you go onto my players, you can see I've got this 80 rated goalkeeper. I can sell him right now, and as you can see, 2 people have put in a transfer fee of 365k. Now I could sell him for 365k. That is the highest price I can sell him for. So if I just press sell right over here, you can see his price has dropped over time because demand has slowly decreased. I just have to wait a couple of minutes, and then it should say that has been sold because I've fulfilled that person who has put in that transfer fee. And that is pretty much it. As you can see, my orders, and that person who had put that first bid in for 365k has now got that card over there. Now I can claim my coins. It does have a 10% reduction tax, so that is basically your transfer fee, as it were. So you get that taken off how many coins you got. So I went from 365k to 328.5k over there. So I claim that up straight away. That is the easiest way to get your players to sell really quickly. Now that isn't going to make you the most amount of coins. If you take a look at some of the players over here, like we looked on my watch list, and you can basically just add players to your watch list. If you just simply go on to recommended or search up players, say this Kylian Mbappe over here, I press watch player over here, that's added to my watch list. I can take a look at how his price fluctuates throughout the whole season, as it were, in the last 7 days or so. So let's take this Mohamed Salah over here. You can see at the beginning, this is where the flat line is. This is before the season started. As the season started, his price plummeted to 1.15 mil, and now it's really quickly going up. At the moment, it's 1.78 mil, but as you can see, the purchase offer is about 2 mil over here. You can see 53 people have put in a transfer fee as 2.24 million coins over there. One person for 2.3 and 20 people for 2.35. What this means is, because there is more demand, as you can see, there's loads of people putting in transfer fees over here to try and get this card. Because there is a high demand, that means the price is going to keep going up and up. And because there isn't enough people who have that Mohamed Salah or who are willing to sell that card, that means that there isn't going to be enough of him to be able to fulfill the demand needed to get him. It's basically how the stock market works, if you guys know how that works, but that is pretty much the case. So there's no one selling him, so there is more people waiting and wanting that card, and the demand goes up, so that means the price will go up. When someone actually has this Mohamed Salah card and does put them up, they're going to put it up for the most amount of money so they can get that straight away. But if you want to, you can also, if you have this Salah card, you can always wait a little bit more, because as you can see at the moment, the trend is that the price is going up and up and up. But at some point it will dip or it will plateau. So when you get to that point, then it's most likely to sell it, because then you know it's not likely to increase a little bit more. It could increase a little bit more, but it's less likely to, rather than now it is continually increasing as we keep going. Because as you can see on the graph, it's saying 1.78 mil. At the moment, you can see transfer fees already over 2 mil over there. So it's all about thinking about it long term. You want that short term gain of gaining 2.35 million or just under that because of the 10% tax, Or do you want to wait a little bit more, see if it goes up a little bit higher, because it might actually reach like 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil it could be going for, and then sell it at that point. And that is basically the key with this. You want to think about it long term if you're looking for those goals. So say I pack Salah just now in a pack, then I will wait a bit for his price to say level off a little bit or slowly stop to increase, and then I would sell that card, because then I'm making a lot more money over there and a lot more coins. Take this Ronaldo card for example. If you go on him and we look at his price, his has gone up quite a bit as well. As you can see, it started off at 3.02 mil and then it's gone up to 3.07 mil, and now you're looking at the transfer fees. Not many people are actually trying to buy him because you're holding your coins in this pretty much. So say I tried to purchase him for 5.5 mil, no one's actually selling him, so my coins will just sit there until the auction expires, or until basically I just withdraw my coins because I realize I'm not actually going to get that Ronaldo card. Now every card in the game does have a card on the transfer market, no matter whether people have them or not. Take this Fernando Torres for example, you can't get him at the moment, but yet he is on the transfer market. Now one person has put in a transfer fee of 35.5 million. They're not going to get the card until a couple of months, because obviously you have to get through all of the event stuff to be able to unlock this card. So they're not actually going to get any players until someone at least has him and put him up for 37.5 mil. They're just going to hold their coins in this sort of transfer market or this period until that expires or until they withdraw it. So that is going to be the case with that. We're going to have to wait and see how much he actually goes for when he does become on the auction house, but he is a free to play card. That is also going to affect how much people are selling cards for, because if they're harder to get, that means that less people will have that card in the first place to be able to put on the market, and then more people want to buy that card because they don't have it themselves. So then they'll buy that card, demand will increase, the price will increase of those cards, and that will cause the increase in price. So say let's search up some Spanish players, because Spanish players you're going to need to be able to get the Charles Puyol over there in the actual event. So let's take a look at some Spanish players, because I know the prices of those have gone up a lot because there is a lot of demand for them. So you can go through some of the events with that. So let's take a look at some of the elite Spanish players over here. Let's take a look at this Iago Aspas and purchase him. You can see it dropped at the beginning, and then people realize you need those Spanish players to use in that icon event, and then it's just gone up a lot. So that means that lots of people are trying to purchase them. Not many people are selling them because they themselves need it for the event, and not many people have them in circulation. So you can see the price has gone up, and then more people will try and get that card when they can, more people actually realize you need that for the icon event, although lots of people do already, and that makes it really hard to buy the cards unless people are selling them. So that is one thing to look out for. Make sure you're looking out at the events and what is happening with the game, because say these Spanish players popped up, say there's an exchange where lots of people need some Brazilian players or something, those Brazilian players will increase in demand, and that might be a good time to sell them if you're not needing them, or you might want to wait if you want to try and buy them later on, wait for that price to sort of dip a little bit and the demand decreases, because then everyone would have got them. And then on the flip side, if we look at Charles Puyol, lots of people put in transfer fees, as you can see, as to about 2.3 mil, 2.4 mil. That is above the price, as you can see in the graph, and that's because people thought, oh, it might be incredibly hard to get this Charles Puyol, but in actual fact it's not that hard. You can get him free to play. So then someone might actually sell this card for 2.4 mil and then make quite a bit of profit, and then buy it back when the price actually drops a little bit less, returns to its normal amount, because it is a free to play card. So at the moment not many people are buying it, and the best way to refresh stuff is just simply go out a little bit, go around a little bit, and then go back onto the cards. To say I was refreshing to see what happened with Mo Salah, you can see there are more purchase quantities over there at different prices, and the price range has gone up just a little bit from what we saw earlier. So that is how you basically go around the transfer market looking for the best buys, and how it pretty much works. So you're basically in a queue when you're selling stuff, when you're buying stuff, and you're waiting for stuff to either be received or to then pop up and people wanting to buy the stuff that you're selling. That is pretty much how it works on the transfer market. It's more of a long-term game than the actual market that we had last season, and it's not run by bots, it's run by actual people obviously buying and selling stuff that is actually in the game. Because some players, like I said, they aren't in the game at the moment, but their card is on here, so no one is selling them just yet, so you're just gonna have to wait until they actually sell them. But that is pretty much it when it comes to the market. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try and answer as many as I can. Hopefully this video summed up quite a lot of things. If you did find it helpful, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.